1 Kings, chapter 14. At that time Abijah, son of Jeroboam, was sick. And Jeroboam says to his wife, Now rise, and change yourself. And they do not know that you are the wife of Jeroboam. And you have gone to Shiloh. Behold, Ahijah the prophet is there. He spoke to me of being king over his people. And you have taken in your hand 10 loaves and crumbs and a bottle of honey, and have gone to him. He declares to you what becomes of the youth. And the wife of Jeroboam does so, and rises, and goes to Shiloh, and enters the house of Ahijah. And Ahijah is not able to see, for his eyes have stood, because of his age. And Yahweh said to Ahijah, Behold, the wife of Jeroboam is coming to seek a word from you concerning her son, for he is sick. Thus and thus you speak to her. And it comes to pass at her coming in, that she is making herself strange. And it comes to pass at Ahijah's hearing the sound of her feet, as she came to the opening, that he says, Come in, wife of Jeroboam. Why is this that you are making yourself strange? And I am sent to you with a sharp thing. Go, say to Jeroboam, Thus said Yahweh, God of Israel, Because that I have made you high out of the midst of the people, and appoint you leader over my people Israel, and tear the kingdom from the house of David and give it to you, and you have not been as my servant David, who kept my commandments, and who walked after me with all his heart, to do only that which is right in my eyes. And you do evil above all who have been before you, and go and make other gods and molten images for yourself to provoke me to anger, and you have cast me behind your back. Therefore, behold, I am bringing calamity to the house of Jeroboam, and have cut off to Jeroboam those sitting on the wall, shut up and left in Israel, and have put away the posterity of the house of Jeroboam, as one puts away the dung until its consumption. The dogs eat him who dies of Jeroboam in a city, and birds of the heavens eat him who dies in a field. For Yahweh has spoken. And you, rise, go to your house. In the going in of your feet to the city, the boy has died. And all Israel has mourned for him and buried him, for this one, by himself, of Jeroboam, comes to a grave, because there has been found in him a good thing toward Yahweh, God of Israel, in the house of Jeroboam. And Yahweh has raised up for himself a king over Israel, who cuts off the house of Jeroboam, this day, and what, even now. And Yahweh has struck Israel as the reed is moved by the waters, and has plucked Israel from off this good ground that he gave to their fathers, and scattered them beyond the river, because that they made their Asherim, provoking Yahweh to anger. And he gives up Israel because of the sins of Jeroboam that he sinned, and that he caused Israel to sin. And the wife of Jeroboam rises and goes and comes to Tirzah. She has come to the threshold of the house, and the youth dies. And they bury him, and all Israel mourns for him, according to the word of Yahweh that he spoke by the hand of his servant Ahijah the prophet. And the rest of the matters of Jeroboam, how he fought and how he reigned, behold, they are written on the scroll of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. And the days that Jeroboam reigned are 22 years, and he lies with his fathers, and his son Nadab reigns in his stead. And Rehoboam, son of Solomon, has reigned in Judah. Rehoboam is a son of 41 years in his reigning, and he has reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city that Yahweh chose to set his name there, out of all the tribes of Israel. And the name of his mother is Naamah the Ammonitess. And Judah does evil in the eyes of Yahweh, and they make him zealous above all that their fathers did by their sins that they have sinned. And they build, they also, for themselves high places and standing pillars, and Asherim, on every height and under every green tree. And a whoremonger has also been in the land. They have done according to all the abominations of the nations that Yahweh dispossessed from the presence of the sons of Israel. And it comes to pass in the 5th year of King Rehoboam, Shishak, king of Egypt, has gone up against Jerusalem. And he takes the treasures of the house of Yahweh, and the treasures of the house of the king. Indeed, he has taken the whole, and he takes all the shields of gold that Solomon made. And King Rehoboam makes shields of bronze in their stead, and has made them a charge on the hand of the heads of the runners, those keeping the opening of the house of the king. And it comes to pass from the going in of the king to the house of Yahweh, the runners carry them, and have brought them back to the chamber of the runners. And the rest of the matters of Rehoboam and all that he did, are they not written on the scroll of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And there has been war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam for all the days. And Rehoboam lies with his fathers, and is buried with his fathers in the city of David. And the name of his mother is Naamah the Ammonitess, and his son Abijah reigns in his stead.